Hey Truth Seekers, it's Nathaniel here, recording a video for Mono Monday, for Mono Holy Spirit, for the month of Mono May. Alright, start off with here, I got the Truth Seeker JP. He says, once per turn during your setup phase, you may draw one card for each level 2 or level 3 Animo in your small group. So as long as you've grown that Animo, it's worth an extra card for JP. I am running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Holy Spirit standard power cards, and I am running 3 fasting. Fasting gives you the ability to either pay for 1 Holy Spirit or 2 Universal, which comes in handy in this deck. Alrighty. I also got my full arts with Nico and Hybrid on there, because that's basically what this deck is about. Alright, I have 3 Myrrh. Myrrh says, when attached to an Animo, this card reduces its cost by 1 Holy Spirit power. And because all Holy Spirit currently printed at this time only have 1 Holy Spirit power along with the universal costs, you basically make them have universal costs, which it comes in pretty handy. Next up, we have 2 Paul's Chains. Paul's Chain says the Animo to whom this card is attached may not be activated, but may be discarded any time during your setup phase. Once per turn, as long as this card is attached to an Animo in your small group, you may search your deck for up to 2 level 1 Animo and place them into your small group. If there is no room in your small group, this card has no use. So you attach this to like Servitude, you let it sit there, and you just use it to grab your level 1s that you need every single turn. I run 2 Bible Study Holy Spirit. It is one of the only types of cards that straight up grabs a specific kind of Animo. So search your deck for any 1 Holy Spirit Animo, reveal it, put in your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. Got 1 Paused Moz. Says place this card in the active city spot or next to it, or if it's currently occupied by another card. No opponent may reveal a city to you on their next turn. At the beginning of your next turn, remove this card as well as any other copy of Paused Moz from your hand's deck or discard from the game. This is a once per game type of story card that prevents your opponent from playing a city on you for your next turn. Next up, we have Cinnies. I got Judge Weed. Judge Weed prevents your opponent from playing a Cinny on you while it's active. Zapper King says your opponent may not play any level 1 Animo from their hand to their small group during the next turn. Have Fear Crow. Fear Crow says choose a level 2 or level 3 Animo in your opponent's small group. Revert that Animo back to a level 1, having your opponent shuffle the growth stages for that Animo back into their deck. Waspits, which I think is a pretty important card right now, has the action. When this card is revealed, select 1 card from your opponent's discard pile and set it aside. That card may not be returned for the duration of the game, so essentially it removes a card from the game. Wolf. Wolf has helped me out quite a bit because he has the ability that says, this card's in your hand. You may choose to show it to your opponent, shuffle it back in your deck if you do draw another card. And then I have a total of 3 Megas for this deck. However, I can only seem to find... Oh, there's the other one. I got Walrus Mega and Globster Mega, and then I have Tokro Mega Plus. So I went with the Big Cine route for this deck. Alright, because this deck heavily relies on recycling my cards, I use Hoof It to do so, because this deck can run out of steam pretty quickly. Ability, if this card's in your hand, you may choose to discard it. If you do, you may shuffle any 3 cards from your discard pile back into your deck. It's very helpful for recycling. I run 2 Servitudes. Servitude is my favorite card to attach Paul's Chains to, because he says once per turn you may draw 1 card for each Faith, Hope, or Holy Spirit Animo in your small group. Between the 3 Holy Spirit that you'll have in your small group, along with Servitude and JP's ability, you should be able to draw up to like 6 cards every turn. Comes in pretty handy. Next up, I run 3 Hybrid level 1s, who's a 2 for 3. It's not really great value, but then he grows into Hybrid level 2, which has an amazing ability. It says when this card is placed from your hand to grow Hybrid level 1, you may search your deck for 1 standard power card and place in your power pool. This is how I'm able to advance my power cards in this deck. Next up, I have Hybrid level 3. Hybrid level 3 is a 2 for 10, which is an amazing value. Combine that with Myrrh, and it becomes a 1 for 10. He has an action that says search your deck for up to 2 Virtuous Animals that are level 2 or level 3. This is how I focus on getting my growth stages out. He is very helpful in doing that. He is also one of my win conditions for this deck. Next up, I have Nico. These are my Bible verse challenge Nicos. Nico is a 1 for 2, not great value, and then grows into a 7 virtue points for 3 power. I don't really think that the level 2 has a whole lot to offer this deck, other than the fact that it is the bridge to get to Nico level 3. Nico level 3 is an 11 for 3. However, has the powerful action that says search your discard pile for the next grow stage of any Animo in your small group. You may instantly grow those Animo. Now, the way this is worded is that it can target multiple Animo. So if you activate Nico and you have, say, 3 Hope Animo, or you have 3 Animo that can grow, you can, if you have them in your discard pile, you can play them from your discard pile on top of those. He makes for a very powerful play. Next up, I have, well, let me go and move this because Nico is also one of my win conditions. They're also on my power card, so they work. Next up, I have Draylite level 1. Dray level 1 is a 4 for 3. I just like this artwork better. Thank you for Christina Todd for drawing these. Then we have Draylite level 2. These are our Bibleverse challenge Draylites. He has the ability that says when this card is played from your hand to grow Draylite level 1, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck, take one, and put the rest back in any order. He's a 3 for 8 that essentially allows you to grab a card and then reorganize the top cards of your deck. Then I have 2 Draylite level 3s, which says action, choose any Animo in your small group and search your deck for 2 growth stages, or up to 2 growth stages for the Animo, and instantly grow it into its level 2 or level 3 growth stage. So essentially, you can use this guy to set up your Nico and your Nico to set up the other guys. It's really helpful. I also have 1 Draylite from Cross Trainers, and it has the ability that says when this card is played from your hand to grow Draylite level 2, you may search your deck for any card. So you basically use the stage 2 to go grab one card, and then you use the stage 2 to go grab another card. I also have for my Ultras, well, give me a moment, I'll move this guy out of the way. I have Nico Ultra, and then Prayer Gwyn Ultra. So this guy is a 1 for 6, which I don't really have a whole lot of level 1s that I can activate. And then this guy ends up being a 4 for 13, and if I put a Myrrh, it ends up becoming a 3 for 13. So anyways, True Seekers, this has been my Mono Holy Spirit deck. The main play of this deck is to activate all 3 of these in the same turn between Fasting and Myrrh. And you can also activate a fourth one, which could be this other Draylite. It is very helpful and very powerful, getting you 40-something points a turn. In the meantime, True Seekers, keep learning virtues and defeating cities.